Well, guys, as you can see, it is finally sunny. We've had about 37 days straight of rain and no sunshine. So it feels like spring is finally here, which means we need to get on and plant some stuff in the garden. We're a little bit behind because we're in February now. And I probably should have had some stuff planted, some seeds started in January, but where it's been so wet and so miserable, I've just not wanted to get out in the garden. So first job today though is going to be giving the greenhouse a really good clean because it is a bit of a mess. There are plants and pots and half filled bags of soil and all sorts everywhere. So first job of the day is going to be starting to tidy this up. So that's probably going to be a case of pulling most stuff out, giving it a good sweep, having it sort out, throwing out the dead basil from last year. Got quite a lot of parsley that's overwintered really well, so that's good. And some garlic chives. My lemon tree, which is down here, is doing not too bad. It needs a few bits pruned off of it, so that's okay. Sadly, forgot that this aloe vera was in the greenhouse over winter. We'll see if we can revive it. I don't know if we can. And then I've got some sage and some other herbs down here that need repotting, and they will go out the front. I've got a little plant stand, so I tend to sell a few spare plants. And then I have got some dahlia tubers that have just been sat in here over winter. Not really sure how well they're going to grow, but yeah, they've got a bit soggy, so they might not survive. But we'll see. We'll see if there's any solid bits on them still. Then I'll repot them. We'll plant them on. But first job of the day really is going to be to get everything out pretty much, and give the greenhouse a bit of a sweep. I might take the shading down to remove any cobwebs and bugs that are behind it, and yeah, we'll get the windows open and let air out a bit because it is a bit damp in here. So that's first job for this weekend. Right, first job is going to be take all these plants out. So lots of sage cuttings that I took last year that I've just overwintered. We've had a few little weeds pop up in the pots, so pick them up as we go, and then these will go out the front of the house in my little plant stand for sale. I might keep one or two. Unfortunately, this one has died, so we will get rid of the moss and reuse the soil. I'll put it back in with my big pot of compost. So also got lots of parsley that I grew last year as well. That's overwintered really nicely actually. So this will go out in the herb garden once it gets a bit warmer. A little bit too cold for that at the moment, but yeah, got quite a few. So that should give us a good parsley crop for the spring. Right, so that's the greenhouse all cleaned out, all swept. Time for a quick cup of tea. And then we've got to put all this back in. Time to start putting stuff back in. The shelves that were here before have got rotten on the bottom, so Mr. F's going to cut the bottom level off for me, level the sides off a bit. So it's going to be a bit shorter, but should go in there still. But I might put it behind where the camera is. There's a gap in the bench finishes, and at the moment there's a bucket, sort of bin for the soil compost behind you, and the rubbish bin. So if it's short enough to go in that gap, I might put it in that gap and then move the bins down this end, so this end is easy to get to everything. But we'll see once we chop the feet off of it. For the minute, it's going to be pot cleaning and getting rid of the cobwebs and the spiders off of everything before we put it all back in there. So, but we're cleaner, we're tidier. I'm not going to put the shading back up yet because it's not really sunny enough for that. I think I want as much light as possible in here for the seedlings once they start. So once I've got everything tidied and start putting it back in, then I will look at planting some seeds. And there we go, one clean and tiny greenhouse. Much better. Unfortunately, when we moved the shelves back in that were at the end of the greenhouse here, I realised that the bottom of them had rotten. So Mr. F has cut the bottom off for me. We've put them up on bricks, and now they fit down this end. They were too high before to fit in here. So, which means the bin and the compost bin are at that end. But that's okay. It's given me a bit easier to get to the end of the greenhouse. Lemon trees come back inside because it's going to be cold again tonight, so not ready to put that back outside yet. We'll wait till it's not frosty before that goes back outside. Have had a tidy up in here. Managed to save a few of the dahlias, so I've potted them. I'll give them a water and hopefully they'll grow. This aloe vera, I'm not sure that that's going to do much, but we'll give it a go. And in here, which is not growing well at the moment, but we'll give it a water, is some turmeric. So we'll see if we can, if that's still alive. It did have some leaves on it, so if it's still going okay, then we'll, I don't know, I can't feel it because it's quite low down. We'll try and see if we can put that in a bigger pot this year, I think. But that needs to stay in the greenhouse really. It can't go outside. It's not warm enough over here for turmeric to grow anywhere other than the greenhouse. So that is about it for today. We've run out of time to do some seeds, so that might be a job for tomorrow. I've just got to go and put the chickens back together because we cleaned them out this morning and left the coops to dry for the day while the sun was out, because as you can imagine, they were quite damp inside. Yeah, where they've not had a chance to air out in between. Usually when I clean them out, I let them air. So Mr. F's emptied and refilled the duck pond, so the ducks will be very happy that that is clean. They love it when they've got a fresh pond. So and he's just filling up the big IVCs we've got down the bottom of the garden, which are where we take the water from for the birds. And a little job that he's also done behind me, you can see it's my summer house, and on the other side of the roof it was very mossy. It was quite overshadowed. Big hazel that we took down, so he has the other side of the roof and got all the moss off of it, so that's a job that needed to be done. As you can see behind me, this greenhouse is starting to peel and fall apart a bit. It is wooden and it is really old. It was here when we moved into the house and it was quite rotten then, so we did our best to patch it up. However, I'm not sure how much longer it's going to last, so not a job for this year, but maybe next year, if if I can convince Mr. F, we will replace it. Well, we will rebuild it rather than replace it. The base that it sits in is slightly larger than the actual greenhouse itself as well, so it would be quite nice to make it a little bit bigger. Not much, it's only got about another maybe 8 inches, maybe a foot if we sit it up on the blocks, extra width. But at the back of the greenhouse there is probably 2 foot of extra space, so we might be able to make it a bit longer as well. We have got loads of spare greenhouse glass down the bottom of the garden, which was left by the previous owners when we moved in. We found multiple greenhouses in various states, and I may not have seen, but we do have a very big greenhouse currently just used for storing all of the garden stuff. So again, another job for this year is going to be trying to make a garden shed for all the tools to go in, and also a garden shed for all the chicken stuff to go in, because that greenhouse currently houses all the chicken food and bedding. So yeah, lots to do this year. We'll see what we get done, and definitely need to get some plants and some seeds in, so that is a job for probably tomorrow now, but if it's raining, doesn't matter, we can come out here in the greenhouse now it's tidy, and that job's done, and we can stand out here with a cup of tea and do some planting in the rain. It's no problem. I will get on with what I was doing now, finish tidying up, go and put the birds back together, and then we might take the dog for a walk to the pub, so that'll be nice.